Oh, it's going badly.
I love that the dudes showed up first. Welcome.
Trying to rig up my charger here so I can charge this phone while I do this.
I'm just gonna mute y'all. We are recording, and I love your voice.
So don't.
Sorry, I just shut you down. I don't know what you just said. So, interesting energies of our time. So welcoming you to get your breath going as you get settled. And we call in the other 13 people who registered for this call. And as we know with this work, you can't always see the people who show up. Talia! Woohoo! Welcome, sister. Yes. I saw Kimberly pop on. Welcome. So we are recording and I will be sharing this. So I love your face and I love your voice. And just so you know, this is going to be shared. So, and you being here, whatever you do and say or don't do and say is part of this creation ripple that also is helping to light up and match with other people in our soul tribe so that they can recognize you and us and they can come in and get this soul support too. Welcome. Hi, Linda. I just am drawing a card and breathing as we are gathering here. I welcome you to start saying hello to your body and your breath. And if there's any shifts you want to gift yourself to come into alignment with this creation space today, full permission, at least from me. And I recommend giving it to yourself. We are going to have Nizar here today, our magical resident reflector. If technology allows, and I've drawn the 10 of Cups. This is the Mother Peace deck. And here's the 10 of Cups. The description is, women give thanks for the rain, which will ensure a good harvest. This is a community card, eh? And really feeling this rising feminine that's coming in to balance out history with herstory. So even though it doesn't say anything about men, this certainly is, there's the feminine and the masculine as well for the men who showed up and were the first ones on this call today. So what a wonderful way to root the structure of the work we're doing here. So I drew this one reversed. And I'm very much, I love this deck. It's so gentle. Welcome to those of you coming on. We are recording and we're rolling. I'm so glad you're here. So just starting your own breath, taking care of yourself, being with your body. So really feeling that breath and this tenderness with your body as I share this reversed meaning of this card that I drew for us. And this feels really tender. And so I just want to say, it's okay to just suspend our judgment of what this means. There's deep wisdom here for what is. I'm in the gym parking lot, which is where I get childcare. So people are walking by in their morning. It says she's having difficulty reaching other people or connecting very deeply in herself. Something feels wrong. She may want to pray, cry for a vision, or call out for help in some way. So honoring you for anywhere you may have a match with that description, honoring you for being here. I know how difficult it can be to show up for support when you're having a hard time. And what I want to say hello to is that you can't get here from where by in the ways that you can't get. I'm like getting lost in time just saying this. I think Varian Brandon said this perfectly. This has been coming up a lot lately. You can't trust your future with your past. Yeah, and so even just being here today, and that includes if you're watching the replay, is a sign that you're doing something new, especially if you have this history of cutting yourself off from your support. Isn't it funny, like when we're in those dark places and we're just like praying, oh my gosh, I need so much help and I don't know how to get it. And then it starts to show up and we're like, I can't get it. And it's right there. And so thank you for being here. I'm just going to check in and look at your faces and say hello. Oh, I see Nizark's here. Wonderful. Hi. Our master teacher. I'm always trying to call Nizark a master, and she's always like, stop it, please. Angelica, welcome.
Thank you.
Brandy. And of course, we had the men, Ernie and Kai, here to initiate our call. Linda, Kimberly, Talia. So welcome everyone into your breath, into your body. We are recording this and I am sharing it. So you absolutely may turn off your video if you like. And thank you for allowing your image to be here. There's a great power in allowing yourself to be seen that ripples out to the people, your people who have matches with you. And this is how we create these containers for these journeys that I'm leading through the Quantum Academy. So let's come into a little meditation and breath, and then I'll offer a little more structure for our call, and we'll get to play with Nizarg. I invite you to close your eyes. And working with full permission for whatever you need, want, sense for yourself. For whatever you're asking for your highest and best today. And maybe that's taking a little deeper breath. Maybe it's being okay with the level of your breath and just noticing it. Maybe it's hands on the body. You may have been catching I've been doing these 60 seconds of breath and gazing videos. And it's just like, get her done. And so it's like right in my life. Often I've got baby on my back and we're walking in the neighborhood. And today it was like there are all these people walking by, and I just had to give myself permission to feel kind of shy and not want to do my video where everybody could see it. So I kind of like went around the corner and just like, I probably looked pretty shady as I was waiting for people to walk by, and picked a beautiful bush to stand in front of. And then I just went for it. And I could have stopped myself with that, just like, well, I'm giving myself permission to feel shy. It's like I just kind of found a zone in there. These are deep, sparky times we're in, right on the edge of what? So go ahead and take a look at this circle, this constellation for yourself. And however that shows up for you, it might be that you're literally looking at the faces on this call. Could be that you close your eyes. And that's my favorite, because that's like really accessing your own information. Looking around, how are you sensing the other people here? How do you sense yourself in relation? What's your experience of yourself in this group right now? And with that might be what's possible, that you might not have evidence of yet. Go ahead and just asking your higher self for some direct wisdom for you to harvest a gift for yourself. A little answer to a little prayer, a really, really big one. Might be why am I here? What do I need to know? What do you need from me, higher self? Where do you suggest I look or feel or breathe? And let's allow 3 deep inhales and exhales, just open to receive. And easing your way on in to our call. And you can keep one foot in that trancy space. I want to acknowledge that I feel like a lot of kind of friction energy that feels uncomfortable for me. In the past, I would have fully freaked out with this. And what I know about this feeling now is that when my spirit is coming in a bigger way, it's stretching me and it starts to kind of rub up against what is ready to go. And so what I do is I turn up my exhales. I give myself permission to like make funny little sounds and like in my body. And be here with all of you. And I welcome you to do whatever you need to do to be here today. And sometimes that's also giving yourself permission to leave. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you do leave, but just like there can be a release with just being like, I can totally go anytime. That's okay. So I want to open it up for, I'm getting a hit on 2 people to share what they saw when they tuned in and asked for wisdom for themselves. And I can only see 4 at a time, so maybe just go ahead and unmute yourself. If I'm not seeing you, wave your hand. Angelica, were you? I hear someone coming in. And I'm getting a black screen. Did you want to share something, Angelica?
I think my internet connection is a little bit unstable, so I'll try to stay connected.
I can hear you and see you.
It's the first time in a while where I didn't get any clear picture or anything, but I just felt like this huge wave through me. And I was kind of struggling a bit to release because I had all this tension in my neck and my stomach and just old stuff ready to release.
Beautiful. Thank you. Does anyone have a match with that? I do.
I even need to shake some. Take it off.
Also, sometimes it's like what's come, like that feeling, like we automatically are like, I gotta get rid of it, I gotta get rid of it, and there's something, and then it's not going, and that's like in the past what I would have like panicked about, right? It's not going, it's not moving, and it's like, well, sometimes that's because it's supposed to be here, and it's just we're learning how to embody ourselves more gracefully and more masterfully, and that's becoming, and these are those fires of becoming. And wave, you know, that can be light waves, frequency, and water is the first thing really that comes to mind for me, and emotions. The last month in Becoming the Gift You Are is about emotional alchemy. So we'll have 9 months to work up to that. And some people may be joining us, you know, later in the journey, but still are, you know, working up to that. It's November, emotional alchemy. Giving like this full like gestation time to come into really looking at what that is. True emotional style. Thank you, Angelica. Anybody else? I had a hit that one more person might want to share what they're seeing or feeling. You don't have to know why.
I had this sensation in my heart. No, it was more in the center. Whereas last time when I spoke a while back, it was more coming from my emotion, felt like my human heart, the anxiety. It felt really powerful to be in this place. And I just had this burning question in me that I want to know. I want to be in a group where I can be in the group really for me. I've burnt out so much in my life for not knowing where those edges are, and so have lost that essential me, and I'm really realizing that now. I'm just understanding about the 3 gates in my will, in the triangle. I just know it like this is triangle. And I'm just realizing, I'm understanding now what's been going on for so long. And somehow I'm finding myself thrown here and like, oh my God, maybe I could, is it possible to do that?
And to do what exactly?
It feels like experiment. It's so hard to have the words because I'm realizing that my belief about myself is when I really tune into myself that I'm being selfish. That's that. I can feel it now. That's hit it. Like it feels like when I really tune into the magic in me, and then I open my eyes and I feel like, oh, there's the shock there. oh, there's all these people. Oh, I can feel it. And that is my desire somehow. How can I be in that place and not be shocked out of it? Oh, God, that was amazing just to be able to say that to everyone. I can feel it, yeah.
You feel it coming back to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you say experiment, and I was remembering on our call in our group that's going on right now, Successful Flow, the experiment that came up with you. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Do you want to say what it is?
It was that in the way that, because we had a meditation, and I felt that I went into this amazing place. It was very beautiful and playful and magical. But then when I came out of it, I felt my concern was I was disconnecting from other people and not, oh God, it's such a deep, it feels like the deepest part of me that's been so distorted.
So can I
yeah.
Can I help you remember a little bit? Is that we replaced it with I or me?
Yes. Yes, every time I said I don't like it.
And there were some really beautiful things that came through. So I'm listening to what you're saying with that replacement. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And I'm like watery in it right now. So in you, in me. So I just want to say hello for all of us as we are doing this storytelling with ourselves, you know, our commentary that's running, and this wisdom and beauty of Linda and courage to come through and share that we can keep playing with replacing it with I or me. And whoa, the meaning just like, I just felt that wave that Angelica was talking about, although it felt more freed up in me this time, it was like kind of sparkly and exciting. Thank you for coming forward, Linda. Okay, so I want to share a little bit of the structure of what is happening in Becoming the Gift You Are. So Becoming the Gift You Are is an offering in Inner Glowing Quantum Academy. This is a school that I've been called to begin about 5 years ago. I had this really wild vision in ceremony with myself. Now, like, my body sometimes would just like walk me out the door, and I at sunset usually, and then I'd find myself like sitting in the woods in the dark. My mind is like, this is crazy, this is stupid. And then I also, it was just so real and palpable that I started to see that I was sitting in ceremony and I was having these beings come and join me in circle. And they are you. And there are more. But this is the beginning. And this is what I call the constellation. And what the constellation is, it's us. It's basically that before this life, a bunch of us were like, yeah, I want to rendezvous on Earth and be a part of catalyzing a great awakening to who we really are. And this is my language that gets me really excited to share, is to wake up to heaven on earth, to wake up to embodying and being the gift that we are. And we are layers and layers of teachers and guides and oracles and, you know, practical things too, you know, like bankers and real estate agents. And what's happening is that the archetypes are evolving. And so some of these roles, like where we might have called it a banker in the past, I don't know what we'll call it. And it's coming up here to say hello to connection as currency. Like that just keeps coming through. Like the archetypes of the past say, like, I don't know how I'll make it. Like, I don't know how I'll make money. I don't know how I'll live on earth. And the new way, the quantum way, is saying, show up, connect, and watch what happens. If you need money, the money will come. And it's never that you need the money, by the way. It's actually that the money is just evidence of the connection that is the actual currency. So becoming the gift you are is one of the offerings. It begins officially in March. And there are two ways. One of them is the inner council. And we have two of our inner councils that I'm aware of that have stepped into it consciously and said hello and yes and begun on the call with us today. It's Brandy and Sharon. And that's 8 people, and it's this deep, deep dive. It's all of this is we're creating from mystery. And then there's also another way to participate, which is a monthly offering during these 9 months. And this is also the people who are in the inner circle are journeying with these layers too. Every month, starting in March, there will be what I'm calling a master teacher. They don't all receive that title. That's what I'm calling them. And these are people who have been my guides, my mentors, my teachers, my deepest soul, family, and friends. And they're coming in and they're teaching a class, or we're having a talk or an interview. Some of them were just like showing up and seeing what happens. Also, I'm offering a call for the constellation in that. And I'm also getting to offer have a human design offering. And then we have a place together. We'll have a private Facebook group and connections within the constellation to work with. So Nizarg is here, and she's one of the I'm not gonna say master again. Nizarg is enchanting, I think is the word that she agreed to. I love to make her blush. Nizarg is a reflector in human design. That means she doesn't have any centers defined. Her aura is like a disco ball. And in the work that Nizarg and I have done together, what's come through, and I think Rauru called it first, but like it's been a big aha for me that I feel like I discovered it with her, is that reflectors distill frequency. And they're very special to have in a group. They're very different from the rest of our trip, even for how different we are from each other. And so they kind of synthesize like all of our vibes. And when we have a conscious reflector like Nizarg and an elder and an experienced teacher like she is, like it's such a treat, because she kind of filters and cleans our space, and we get to experience just this clarity is my experience of what is wanting to come through for all of us. And so the more you raise your consciousness and the more you open up to be present here, like Nizarg's presence is just gonna like disco ball that and distill it and assist us in raising it up that's my scene and my interpretation of it. And so I'm not speaking for Nizarg. I just want to be clear. So Nizarg, I want to invite you to come on and share with us, and you can let me know if you need more direction or questions. But what I'm feeling is that I want to know like how you feel being here. I want to know what you see, and you don't have to answer all of these, but I'm just kind of throwing them out there to like, I'm kind of going fishing with you. And another thing that's coming up to ask you is just like, what is becoming? What is it to become yourself? And I'm going to see if I can, do you know how to unmute yourself, love? I'll figure it out. Hold on. And everyone, being with your own breath and your own body. Did I succeed? And I did. You're unmuted, Nizarg.
Okay. I'm on.
You're on.
I'm
Yeah.
on. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first question, your first question is how it is for me to be here.
Mhm.
Well, I actually wanted to show up just to say hi and tell you I'm not feeling so well today. I went for a long walk and in the cold snow here in Salzburg, and I felt like I got a bit cold, so I came back not feeling so good. And actually all I wanted to do is get a hot water bottle and go to bed because here, I don't know where you guys are, but here it's evening time. And then I thought, at least I come and, show up, and say hi and wait for the moment where I can say, actually, it's all I wanted to do. But then what happened while I was here, just kind of like listening first to you, Sari. Well, first of all, I would like to say you look so lovely, Sari. It was it's just lovely to look at your face and your clean, clear, sparkling eyes and your, I don't know what you make it out, I don't know. And the sun is shining on you. But then what really kind of like got me was when Angelica, when you started sharing and I saw you big on the screen, and I don't know if you can see me now because I see you, Sari, talking. I don't see myself.
We do see you.
When I saw you, Angelica, like big on the screen, your lovely face, and how you were sharing, and for me, listening to somebody is more something like I'm listening to the energy of the person. I'm listening to whatever vibration is coming, whatever frequency is coming, and that is catching me or not. And usually it is catching me because it is real what's coming from the person. And that's what I felt, and it was really like, it was so lovely to feel you. And I just want to thank you for that.
Would you like to presence with Angelica right now and get her on I can get her on your screen big?
It's like I said what I needed to say.
Yeah, okay.
And I felt again the same thing about you, Linda. Because, now I'm seeing those little pictures and I was wondering who these people are that are sitting there listening to Sari. And then after Angelica, when you popped up, Linda, it was also such a lovely surprise to hear you, to feel you, your sharing, and again, your authenticity, something real coming through. And that kind of like got me here, actually, and kept me here. Thank you. Thank you both for sharing yourself, And in a sense, to me, becoming the gift you are, for me, is actually something very simple, it seems. I think every time that we are authentically real, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't, whether we feel good or bad or whatever, confused, whatever it is, but the moment we are connected and that's what we are sharing and that's what we are honest and authentic about, in that moment, I feel like, we are always the gift that we are, and that's what we are sharing in that moment. And that is what I felt with both of you when you were sharing, It hit me. I felt like I received your gift. And it was so lovely. So simple in a way. So lovely, yeah. And of course, when my time, I'm scheduled to come on in July because it was the only month that I'm basically free. Even though my favorite field, and Sari knows it, is the emotions. That's where I feel like I am a master. In the emotional field, I have become a master. Really,
Wow.
really.
Does anyone feel that? I just got a full-on splenic wave in my body when you said that.
It's like that has been. Because I understand that this is such a challenging place for everybody, and yet it's the most important place in us, because it's here where we connect with each other. And so this has, all my life has been my kind of like focus in all my previous work before human design also. And so unfortunately it's in November when I'm in China, so I can't do it, but that's what I really would. That's really my field,
I feel your placement in the year is perfect for us in that, the themes of your month within the sequence of initiation is integration. And I'm really coming to see that integration is actually sometimes even more intense than initiation, which comes right before integration. And then what is it? I think it's practice in the season of embodiment. And then the theme is commune. July is also the month when I'm offering for the first time an in-person retreat. So there's going to be a lot going on that month. But Nizarg, I feel that you're really anchoring this. There's so much emotion in those things, and just to have you shining and anchoring the middle of our journey, I feel is like so powerful and perfect on our trajectory to November of like really being ready to presence and receive what emotional alchemy has for us. And I also, I'm reminded as you're talking that part of the intention of bringing Nizarg in and these other teachers, March I have Gary Mahler and Karen Perry giving us a mini into the fire retreat, which is usually a surf retreat. They call it a transformational beach party. And they're doing it online for us, and they create purely from mystery. So we never know. We don't know what's going to come up from that. I'm so excited. But it's so that you can also have an experience of these teachers and recognize these other possible people on your path. Nizarg offers a retreat in May. Is it that you're doing it? Well, anyway, she offers these in-person retreats, and I know like what we're calling it and what it is like kind of up in the air. And I know with me, like so often, like people are like, I have no idea what I'm doing with you or why. And I see a match with that with Nizarg too. It doesn't really matter. It's that if you feel a match to go and be present, with Nizarg and be in her physical presence and in her aura, if you have like a soul contract that you're ready to activate, that you can experience her in this way, that's kind of like it's gentle and it's easy, right, to come in and such a treat, because neither doesn't do this with anybody except for me right now. So it's quite a special thing.
Actually, the retreat in May is only for reflectors. So
Oh, that's the reflector, yeah. But you do offer another one.
I'm doing another one in June in Greece, in Corfu. I don't know where you are all living, but that is very recommendable. It's a week in Aura and very, very special. So I'm sure, Sari, you can, I mean, I sent you, I think, the information about the June event. Maybe
Yeah,
you
we'll be sharing it. I'll share it for sure. And also, you know, it might be that this is your year to go with Nizar 2019. It might be 2020 that's for you. Like I feel like 2020 is also when like we might have a real contingency, or that's not the right word, I don't think. But anyway, we'll have.
I never know. You know, I mean, every year it's like. You know, unless somebody comes forward to really take it on, organize it, I am not moving. Nothing is going to happen, you know. So, yeah. And I love the place in Corfu, and that particular time, I usually they reserve that week for me there. And so far, it's been happening, but it's like I never know. Is it going to happen again or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I might retire next year. I don't know. But anyway, you with your connection, you know, with your mystical connection, with your mystical channel, you know, you can feel things and see things, Sari.
And it's just, this is how, like, in connecting with you, like, we may just how you know, the shares from Angelica and Linda, like, drew you to stay. It might be the same for another retreat. And I want to say, like, I learned this with the human design teacher Randy Richmond, who I felt really strongly called to work with him, and then he died, and I missed an opportunity to work with him, you know. So yeah, like, what that is for me is that, like, to act on these strong feelings we have to presence with people when they come up, even if we have no fucking clue how we're gonna get to Greece or you know, pay for, you know, becoming the gift you are or whatever. It's like the first step is like just acknowledging that you feel a yes, and at that point, a lot of times it's none of your business how. You know, like I wanted to go to Greece with you last year with a 3-month-old baby. And it just wasn't to be, but I still dared to dream it and to want it. And all kinds of unexpected things have and are still coming through that desire. So.
Yeah, so yeah, when you shared this, I can see that now more clearly also. I'm so glad I'm here. And you're mapping out, you know, the structure, and with you all here, I can see now the possibility that in July also integration fits also. Yeah, nice. I think it's, you know, it's, yeah. Now I got more of a sense of what it is, what it can be, what it wants to be, and I'm really kind of looking forward to it. Yeah.
Wonderful.
You know, I mean, one more thing that came to me about becoming the gift you are. I actually always feel like we are already the gift that we are. We can't help it. We are who we are, you know, in our differences. And it's more like a kind of a waking up from some kind of a, sometimes I feel like from some kind of a hypnosis, you know, or trance that we were put in after birth to make ourselves fit into whatever society we were born into. And nobody knew how to actually nurture and support the flowering of, the gifts that we are born with, because people didn't know. And so in that sense, human design has been an incredible help for me. And I've been able since 2003 to basically support, assist, help many, many people becoming who they were born to be. And that is the aspect in a way that is so important for me. If I can, if it's possible for me in being together with people to be of assistance or help to actually, reconnect with who everybody really is in a very simple, direct, practical way, creating a certain space for it. Well, that's my greatest joy, actually. And then to see it happening. I call it flowering. Before human design, I already worked with people all my life before human design. And I had a fantasy many, many, many years ago, long before human design, that one day I would like to give a kind of a session that is called flowering, in a sense, that to support the people to flower as the flower they are born to be. And it doesn't matter whether it's a daisy, a rose, or a tulip, or whatever, but to kind of like discover the flower that I am, and then to kind of like nurture it so it can actually blossom, because I feel like, I guess it's another way of saying becoming the gift you are. And in that sense, I'm happy that I'm part of this kind of project, Sari, that you initiated. You were called to initiate. For the people with the opportunity to experience many different kinds of teachers or guides, each of them opening a different kind of a window, a different perspective, a different kind of way, showing different possibilities. And then from that variety, everybody can choose and find out what kind of like works best for me, for my own journey. Yeah. I don't know, Sari, what else did you ask me? I forgot what you asked me.
Perfect. You are perfect. You have just... You've awakened us into a trance of awakening. So I feel there's the forgetting, which is how I see what you were saying about like what we've been born into and not being nurtured and as who we are, even though we are, like we are this gift. And the way that is becoming is that like the shamans are born and recognized as shamans, and human design gives us, shaman is very close for me because I am, right? And I very much have not been recognized as that in my life. And so there's the experience of being the unrecognized shaman, in being the medicine for the people who don't recognize the medicine. They've been praying for it, but it shows up and then they're freaked out because they don't know how to treat the shaman. And there's something like that for each of our gifts, if you resonate with shaman or something else. But it's like the coyote medicine I see is that we come in with this forgetting, or that's how we have been coming in. And now we're coming into a way where we are awakening. We're coming into the trance of remembering who we are and becoming that. And as the babies come in, we are starting a new timeline and a new lineage. that is rising up, which is in the trance of remembering who we are and recognizing that. And you just did that. That's my experience of what just happened. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you all. I would love to be able to see all of you, like Kimberly and Sharon, and Kimberly and Sharon. Who else is
So
there?
what you can do is
To see you for a moment, the big picture, because it's so because
so
now
go ahead, if you want to allow yourself to be seen by Nizar, go ahead and unmute yourself and say something.
like before, because with Angelica and Linda, I saw you big. It was so nice. Yeah.
Hi, Nizark.
This is, oh my God. Hi.
Hi.
Boy, Brandy. Wow. Wow.
Go ahead, Talia.
Lovely.
Hello, Nizark. My voice is gone. I've been a little sick, but I'm here.
Yeah,
My son is here with me.
I can feel it.
I love the flowering.
You love the flowering.
Yes, thank you.
You look delicate, like your body likes to just kind of like curl up and be really cozy and comfy. and
Self-care day.
Nice to meet you, Talia. Talia?
Talia.
Talia.
Thank
you look so inviting in your how you are kind of like in your cushion here that I feel like
it's very cozy.
kind of like jump in and join you.
It's big enough.
Well, unfortunately, where you are in the US, right?
So I want to invite Kimberly to speak so she can come up.
Hello. Am I there? Am I unmuted? Hi.
We hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for all that you shared with all of us.
Hi, Kimberly. So nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I feel the connection in my heart.
Oh, I'm so touched. I could cry looking at you, honestly.
I know. I have big tears in my eyes too. Thank you.
That's.
Oh, go ahead.
Somebody else?
I was going to invite Sharon.
Sharon, yeah. I just wanted to say, Kimberly, because I maybe for everybody, for a reflector. I mean, like the name, I mean, I'm basically experiencing what you are experiencing deeply and in an amplified kind of a way. So whatever you are feeling, I'm feeling, but I'm feeling it more strongly, and sometimes it comes out from me before it even comes out from you. And that's when I feel like a true meeting is happening. It's lovely. Thank you, Kimberly. Wow.
Thank you. I'm a projector, so that's good. It's working.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kimberly is a mystical ass projector.
I am. I got real teary-eyed a while ago. I didn't know that Randy crossed over. I didn't, because I'm not really in human design. I love human design. He's who I did my first chart with because he was projector. And he told me not to study it because I have too much other stuff coming in and that it would take me too long and I would get antsy with it. And so when you said that a while ago, it just like kind of, because he was my first experience with it when I was in Sedona.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
You felt
and I was
like,
oh, I'm so honored to have the CDs that he made for me. When you said that, it's like, oh, I have his voice still, That's
wow,
great.
I'm so happy. I did not know. I did not know you were a projector, but I felt like I needed to stay a little longer with you, and I'm so happy you felt recognized by me because that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because for a projector, for the gift to flower is because you're being recognized. No, that's what opens. No, wow.
Thank you.
And now I have the name for your class, Nizark. It has to do with blossoming. Okay, I want Sharon to pop on if you would like to. And I also have I have Laura and Kai here if you would like to be seen by Nizark.
Thank you so much.
Hello. Hi, Nizark.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. It's raining men.
And then Laura, go ahead.
Hi, Nizark.
I don't.
Yang and Arjen.
Hi. Wow. Wow.
Hi, Nizark. I'm Sharon.
Sharon. Hi, Sharon.
Oceans.
Oh my God, the real ocean. Yeah. Oh my God, this is amazing. But are you're outside?
I'm in my cave.
Sharon's in Hawaii.
Oh my God. I mean, Sharon, you should see my background here. It's all white. It's all snow. It's freezing cold. It was so nice to see the ocean and the park.
I'll let you see the ocean.
Oh my God, it's so nice. Wow.
And I love Corfu. I know exactly what you're speaking with her energy. So yeah, I'm an ocean mama too. But I love the mountains, and I wish you good hibernating snow.
So I'm gonna gather this in, and I'm glad everybody had a chance.
Can I just thank Nizark for one thing?
Yep.
I want to thank you for cracking the seed. You know, when a seed is there and it wants to germinate, it needs to get cracked first, the hull of the seed. And I feel that that's what your words on Becoming did. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Lovely. Thank you, Sharon. I get chills. Woo. Goosebumps. Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. And she carries shock.
Wow.
Nizark. She's got the 51. So I think that's the cracking of the seed, if anything is.
Well, I mean, I have only the gate 51. Naturally, I don't have the whole channel, you know, but I have it prominently.
And there's like 3 2551s on here right now, FYI.
Really? Oh my God.
At least. There might be more. I mean, including myself, of course.
Of course.
Oh, cool. Thank you. So I'm going to just, I'm gathering in energy now for a little more practical heretic focus here. That's a taste of Nizark. So we don't really know what will happen on her blossoming call, but like with a full, I think we went for 2 hours for her call. A lot can blossom in 2 hours. So that's for the July session. So let's just all breathe here and just receive what just happened. And I'm talking to you too if you're watching this on the replay. So this call is mostly to recognize the Constellation Circle membership. I want to say hello to the Inner Council, and if you may be feeling a hit for that, to connect with me one-on-one. And you can also be in process and coming in through the membership. I just got the clarity last night that enrollment for the Inner Circle is going to be open through the month of March. So it all begins in March, and you can still come into the Inner Circle through March. Or Inner Council. You can also come and journey with us in the membership, the monthly. That's $111. it's funny. I presenced with a sister of mine who is, it's Tatiana Sakurai, is the teacher for, I think it's August or September, about the number, and both of us got 144. And then, but what I know about the two of us is she and I both get lost in the future sometimes. And so lately it's just been like hitting me over the head that it's 111. So I'm just trusting it and going with it. So that is up on the website. It's actually at 144 right now. I'm going to go and shift it. You can also connect with me personally if you feel hit on that. You can share in the thread of this post as well, anywhere where you like or feel like, if you just like want to make a gesture of commitment, which is something that one of my teachers, Kendra Kunov, talks about. That's like, I feel a yes, and I feel fucking scared. That might be the way that it comes through. If you plop it, ping it into the field as part of the creation and the commitment, as a little seed to be cracked, maybe. And just like me wanting to go to Corfu, you know, with a 3-month-old, you know, we don't know what's going to actually come of it. And sometimes it's none of your business.
Well, it's never really our business.
It's never our business until it is.
True.
I've been I want to say hello to the fear of gurus. It's been coming up a lot, like to feel like we're not meant to go forward and do everything on our own. We are meant to have our own freaky tribe that is for us, and that there has been a lot in the past and still a lot going on of groups where you come in and then you have to like subscribe to a program that might not be in resonance with who you are. And this is why we create the way we do in Inner Glowing Quantum Academy, is that like when you show up before the thing, you're helping create the space for yourself. And it's also really tender. And I have triggers around this too that I'm working through with my coaches. Like, where like, oh shit, like this fear of being in a group, this fear of being overtaken or programmed. And that's what can really keep us from receiving the gifts that show up for us. And also that sometimes, like I have actually gone into those programs, I have hired those coaches, I have paid them money, and this has been part of my journey in becoming a safe person. And I'm still on it. So the other thing that I'm getting coming through is to invite the people who have been working with me and are currently working with me. If there's something that you want to share that you feel is like might have helped you come in to do the work that you're doing right now. And we did this in the last group in the form of a testimonial from your future self or your present self to your past self. And so, or anyone who is feeling something coming through to be shared and recognized that might be helping anyone who is like, might be shaking their shoes a little bit around a yes that they have, or even a no.
Be ready for magic is the words that I get. And working with you is a be ready for magic realm. And thank you.
Also, does anyone have any questions that they want to ask of me, of the space, of themselves, or of someone in particular here? And that's all in the mix. So if any of those have a ping for you and you want to share, just go ahead and unmute yourself and begin.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. One of them is, are the timings going to be similar to like this time, bearing in mind that I'm in the UK? That's one question.
Yes. In
Yes.
fact, I do this time because I have a lot of people who are in like your time zone and Nizarg's, and so it's like a not too unreasonable evening time.
Yeah, well, that's good. Okay, thank you.
And I'm kind of like looking at if I might make one offering during the evening in my time for a diversity of offerings. So very much like is what's going on in Successful Flow and Sacred Service is that some of it you just have to let wash over you and through you and trust that you're there even if you're like snoozing and in dreamland. So that's the may not be present for every single thing, and that's okay. Like Kim and I are both in a group with a lot of people, and there's no way, and a lot of calls, and there's no way I can be there for everything, you know. And it's actually perfect. Like it's just kind of like this beautiful flurry, and where I show up is perfect. This is not as prolific as that, but energetically it is. So, but yes, 10 a.m. is kind of my time that's best for me with baby, and it also seems to work well for my UK and European people. I have one person in Australia, and I have a really strong hit on right now, and I have no clue. So we'll see how, as Australia comes in, what the heck happens with that. Because it's like 6 a.m. the next day for them this time. And do you have another question, Linda?
The other question was about, I think I've got it right. You talking about the Becoming the Gift You Are. That's the monthly 111 that you were talking about. Is that right?
That's the membership aspect of Becoming the Gift You Are.
The membership aspect.
Yeah, so in Becoming the Gift You Are, there's the Constellation Circle membership. That's the 111. And then there is the Inner Council. And that is something that we create on more of a one-on-one by invitation. So if that's something that's pinging for you, then you and I would have a conversation about that. And we're also going to have meetings with the people who are in it already, and I might be inviting some people in who are considering it to come and witness those meetings. But you can explore that possibility through the membership.
No, I think this is enough, right? And the other sort of testimonial I would like to say, it's a bit jumbly, but I was just thrown into the inner flow last month. I had no clue where I was, what I was doing, totally confused. But something in me said, oh, just keep going. Even sometimes I don't know what anyone's talking about. It's kind of such a great experience. It doesn't feel linear, or it takes me out my box. That's all really I can say about it.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's been such a treat having you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have something bubbling up? I saw Brandy was looking kind of shifty, like she was going to hit her unmute. I'm not sure if you're still feeling that space.
Well, I can share a little bit. I got a great hit on what Nizarg said. When I joined the call this morning, my only intention was to stay in the call. That's showing up as I am. That's how it felt. I wanted to be here and I wanted to stay. And after Nizarg spoke, I just felt a wonderful match with her flowering and the blossoming and the glow that comes from inside all of us when we embody who we are. So it was a pretty wonderful gift to hear her speak. And so thank you. And I'm glad I stayed. And I hope you all stay too.
Thank you. That's part of the medicine that's been coming through that is called Come As You Are. And I've had some experiences like that recently with other calls. I've been on other coaches' calls. And yeah, it's part of that permission to leave. And then I notice I'm staying. And there's just like this voice in me that's like, just stay here. Even though I have some other voices that even seem louder, like, fuck this shit, I want to leave, blah, blah, blah. I need to just go lie down. That's what I need. I need to go get my baby. Or whatever it is. Or I need to go do some work. I can't, like, why am I wasting my time with this? But there's this other voice that's like, okay, you could go. And you could stay. And then I get this like, boom, like usually at the end, and I'm so glad that I stayed.
I'm so glad, because for me it was more of a you don't have anything well, the voice was saying you don't have much to offer, you're a little cranky, don't bring your space into this space. And then the practice was to breathe through it and to stay anyway.
Does anyone have a match with that today for this call?
I had a match, but it was more of place than staying. I had the weirdest, I was going to come here into the sunrise, and then I had all kinds of things that prevented it. And then, so I was going to settle into my little cave at home and watch it and do it there. And then all of a sudden I get a call from someone that's doing a freaking beer commercial right here where I stay every day. Can you please bring me flowers, plumerias from your bush so that blah, blah, blah. And so I ended up here anyway. And so I felt that was the energy evidently that was needed. And that was the flow. It wasn't of me as much as of place.
Yeah.
And going along with the place flow made it better for me. Yeah, it was a weird, different kind of flow.
And this is a personality third line talking. So like, I just want to say hello to this like wild way of like, whoa, she's like right in the stream of everything, you know.
That's this amazing hit with Nizarg when she was talking about the bud flower. You know, we've been working on bud, rosebud, and I see like every one of your teachers is a different nutrient, and how I'm a gardener, so you have to have all of the nutrients available, and each flower takes the nutrient that it needs for, like, some need more pH and some need more magnesium, and so I see all the different features as the different nutrients that we're utilizing with. So yay.
Thank you. And I see one of our generators is having some giggle response here. Do you want to say something, Angelica?
Yeah, it was so funny because you remind me of my mom, and she's like this as well. She's the third line, and the way she explains everything, you know, just like, yeah, it's just really endearing. And yeah, I feel like I'm tuning into the vibrations as well to this entire group. And it's not so much what we're saying, it's more who we are, and yeah, that we are here now together. And it's really powerful. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, thank you for speaking to that. Because it's calling me to notice like how different I feel in my body now. There's just like this openness, spacious. I can feel like the air is really cold here today, and like in the mountains, and it's really sunny, and can really feel that in my lungs.
You know, Sari, what I realized this time, you know, I mean, you have the 5-1 profile, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, all the people that are gathering around you are your karmic connections from the past.
Or the future.
Well,
I'm from the future,
and the
definitely.
present. But anyway, it's like, you know, people that, you know, that somehow there is you have a karmic connection with. And realize how good I feel always with the people that come to you. Like in the last, you know, in the last call that we had, where I met, you know, a whole bunch of your people, it was the same. Each single person, you know, it's like, it's so lovely.
And there were people on, so Nizarg and I did an experiment where we had an online offering. I don't even know like what to call it. I know we called it something, but I think we called it an experiment. But there were people that came through that had never come through for me before. So your people came too. Yeah.
Nobody I knew, but
Really? Okay, well then it was the combo of us that like unlocked some people to come through and to recognize the space for themselves. And yeah, actually I've sensed some of them might watch this replay even though they're not here. That was really exciting. I'm like, oh, I look forward to when they loop around again. When they come back through our space. So okay, well, I am feeling near completion here. So just one last opening. If something's just like, I gotta say it, now's your chance. Anyone?
just much love to all of you. And I say good night because I'm going to go to bed now.
Sweet dreams.
And it was a great joy and healing. You know, I was not feeling well. I just wanted to say I'm going to go to bed, hello, and I'm leaving. And it was healing being with you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take a group 3 breaths to anchor this.
Okay, I'll lead that.
Ask for breathing.
Okay, yes, I love it, and I want to check in with. I saw some other people leaning in, so just real quick, if you have something you want to drop in the space. Or not, Talia?
Hello. My voice is out, so I think part of that was my hesitation. In the beginning of this call, that magical moment of opening that happened with that card, I felt was so huge for what the flow of this ride is, you know, of not cutting yourself off from any possibility and truly just, you know, like so many of us have said, just showing up and just being in the space and allowing whatever life or whatever it is to take place to happen. It hit me really deep, and I was very grateful. And it's something that I've noticed is in the magic with these, the work that you're doing and facilitating, is that is a huge part of what it is that opening for life to flow. I'm very grateful for that gift. And a side note, my nickname, I was just laughing with Nozark. My husband calls me Blossom. So like that hit me on a whole nother little side. And it's been the most endearing, tender name I've ever been given that allows me to feel so much more of myself. So I love the becoming. I love the flowering concept. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, and I'm seeing now too with the bud thing as well that comes with Sharon, and I know that Ernie has a match with the blossoming thing. He had to leave the call, but that like a rose is still a rose, right? When it's like a bud, and then there's the blossoming into this seemingly other embodiment of its essence, but it's still that. Also, I want to say that so this is a school. This is a school, and it's a school designed to support you in your becoming that, whatever your blossom is, it may be to be a teacher guide in this school. All right, Laura, did you have something? I keep seeing you lean in. This is the last one I'll take for this call.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for that invitation. I probably wouldn't speak otherwise. I really I feel so blessed to be like part of this. I get so much from it. I'm really grateful. I really enjoyed what, I hope I'm saying this correctly, Nisarg, is that correct?
Lisa.
Was saying about, and I wrote it down, essentially just becoming the gift that you already are. And I still seem to sometimes get pulled into these, like, noticing what I think is the opposite of the gift that I am, and like in that space saying, like, I can't even do this. I can't, like, and just listening to those mind games that I play. But I feel like before, like, it would be unfair to leave this call without sharing the gift that this program has been, and working with you and working with the people in the groups has been for me. Like, it's very grounding for me and keeps me alive and in the right spot, like keeps me in the right space, and like brings me back to breath and brings me back to body, the essence of who I am, and feels really supporting in finding what that gift is, and like lifting it up and using it in service, and being more confident with that. And I definitely will attest to the fact that working with you one-on-one is one of the greatest gifts that I've ever received. Like, incredible. So if anybody is thinking about doing that, like, it really is an opening that I've experienced through working with you. And like, a real sense of flowering, and like noticing the flower and letting the flower be what it is. And to me, that's magic, I think that's all I've got.
Thank you, sister. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing the gift of your voice and your image and your presence. And it's been an absolute delight to witness your eternal blossoming.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are a gift. I also heard for the first time, the gift that we were. Like sometimes the gift that we were, like, we judge it, we say it wasn't a gift at all, and then it blocks us from like really receiving the gift that we are in the moment, and that like however we've been has been a gift too. And it doesn't mean that it's where we are right now. It does not mean that it was wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of part of the gift that I am now.
Yeah.
Like, it all unfolded the way it did, and enabled me to have the experiences and the tools that I have now.
Yeah, and especially for those of us who carry this medicine of the 2551 that has, shock and love of everything, including the inanimate, and this awakening to, spirit. we get the, we really know and learn about this medicine that Sharon mentioned, of like, that I feel is a huge recognition of that channel, is like the seed that needs to be cracked to and being on Hawaii, I know there are certain plants that germinate. In fact, I think there's one tree that is the first to initiate growth after lava flow. So,
I like that.
yeah, thank you for being that and coming as you are. And thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. We are complete. And we're going to take 3 breaths. Thank you, Sharon. Here we go. Big ol' inhale. We're going to howl on the 3rd one. Here we go, coyote. Inhale. And the dogs are here. Oh. Man, the dogs have been coming through so much. We've had some really tender dog medicine and successful flow. Thank you. I feel that emotion. All right, I love you. We are complete. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.